I'm Henry Kirkham and I'm a student at Wisdom Springs College. I think people are able to express themselves through what they wear at Springs, but no one really does that anyway. We all pretty much wear a t-shirt and jeans, or might be the odd person who dresses extravagantly.
Of course you get students that kind of don't wear their mufti appropriately. It's the best way to say it, and I've been sitting in on wonderful presentations, especially with deans, where we had discussions about short shorts and short shorts. And so you do this all the time, and especially in summertime you tend to have those conversations about uniform a little bit more.
I think people do respect the rules when it comes to guidelines, what you can and can't wear, but sometimes it does go a bit too far with short shorts and ripped jeans. Like sometimes summer gets, the younger girls get a bit too short, or tops get a bit too low and stuff starts hanging out.
I have had to deal with students who have been wearing really low cut tops, or you know, really short shorts, and every single time I've had the conversation with the student, I've never been met with a, oh, why can't I wear this? I've always had the, oh miss, I'm sorry, I didn't think about it, I'm sorry, and they immediately cover up. So that says a lot about our students as well. So I can't say that I've had many uncomfortable discussions, rather just young people that are not necessarily 100% aware of how people perceive them, and that's learning in itself, isn't it? So it's actually a really neat conversation to have.
My views on uniform is that we should have uniforms, because I feel that when you wake up in the morning you don't really have to worry about what you're going to wear. The teachers at my school are concerned about how you present yourself. I think that's just because if we're wearing something formal that it makes a difference.
It was just really unnecessarily strict. Like one time I got sent to the office because I had clear nail polish on and had to take it off. Like, I'm pretty sure that kind of interferes with my learning more than anything.
Some people wear chucks, but they're black leather shoes, so they claim that that's what you're allowed to wear, but they get taken off you as well. Well, not taken off you, but you get a warning. Generally you get detention if you're not wearing the correct uniform.
You can't wear jumpers under your blazers, or you can't wear tops underneath your school blouse. You can't wear grey socks, it's got to be black or it's got to be white. Your nails can't be painted. Your earrings that you're wearing. I feel that teachers just need to relax about that, because it doesn't affect your schoolwork, in my opinion.
We'd be made to wear blazers for formal events, and this is not even a joke, we'd have chapel services and people would just be passing out and fainting because it was so hot. Like, that's how strict it was. They'd prefer us to conform and look how they want us to look rather than stay on our feet, you know?
Our skirt has to be below the knee preferably, but people hike it up anyway. Some people like pull the top button off, so they say that they can't actually do it up, but that's just an excuse. We do have to have our hair up, but some people wear it down, or they half put it up, and sometimes you get away with it, but mostly the senior staff get concerned about it and then they just give you detention.
The way I see it is boundaries are meant to be tested. That's the point of boundaries. So if we put in boundaries around school uniform and saying this is acceptable and this is not, we need to know that students are going to challenge that a little bit, and that we need to be prepared just to kind of manage the situation when it arises.
So when I went to St Mary's, I felt really like I had to conform to what they wanted, basically. That was what they wanted us to look like, so we had to conform. It didn't matter what we wanted or what we wanted to look like, that's what it had to be. And I felt like a lot of time and effort was taken up by teachers and staff fussing over uniform, which in no way affects my learning. It doesn't matter what I'm wearing, it's not going to change what I learn.
I have a problem with uniforms, as I've been to a uniform school, and I found that it often set up negative relationships between student and teachers, because there was constant negative energy about policing the uniforms and whether someone was wearing the wrong socks or the wrong shoes, and it just sort of created a negative relationship between student and teachers, which was totally unnecessary, and it used up lots of valuable learning time and sort of created not as much a positive environment, which is sort of better to learn in, and I sort of found it quite difficult, yeah.
When you put on your school uniform, it's like you step into a different world. You become that learner, you become that person. It's more formal, it's as if there's different expectations. We would behave in a certain way when we were wearing a uniform, and then you would behave slightly differently when you don't wear a uniform. And I did have moments where I thought about, are we actually missing out? Are we actually losing something by not having that?
I feel that everyone's equal and everyone's a part of something all together, and it's not in groups as it would be when people are in mufti, because there wouldn't be the superior and the inferior and the hierarchy that would occur if there were mufti.
I don't feel that I have to dress to impress. I just wear what I feel comfortable in, and I don't mind how other people see me or judge my clothes if they do.
Often people say that wearing mufti can be distracting for the boys or whatever, but I think that being in a mufti school, for the first week or two people are excited that they get to wear their own clothes, and it's exciting, but being here for 5 years you get used to it and it's not important anymore, it's not interesting. People just wear what they wear and no one even acknowledges it. It's just life, and that's what life is. Wearing a uniform is not real life, but going to a school when you can wear your own clothes, that's setting you up for the real world. That's what we're going to be doing when we're older, so why not start now? I mean, it's so much more natural and normal to be able to wear your own clothes.
At a uniform school, you all have to do the same thing. You can't tell what somebody's like through their appearance, you really have to get to know them. But it's fun at Springs because you kind of look around and everyone's a bit different.
There may be some competition within that, again, maybe in the younger years, but as you get older you become more comfortable with yourself, and that kind of thing doesn't really matter too much anymore.
The reality is when you kind of really focus on what good learning is about, and you start having learning conversations, and you start kind of developing your thinking about what it means to be a good learner, then you kind of don't need to kind of put on a uniform to become that person. You become that person every day, you live that person, and I think that made a significant difference in my thinking as well.
When I first moved to Western Springs, there was definitely this thing in the back of my mind, like, what do I wear? Do I need to wear something in particular to conform to a certain style, or what are the other girls wearing, or do the guys care what we wear? But I definitely think that I was proved wrong, and that it's not about proving yourself or trying to impress people. It's just about being comfortable in your own skin, but at the same time presenting yourself in a respectable fashion, I guess, is, yeah, the main thing.
Is it about the way the students look? Is it about the way, you know, they wear their clothes? Is it about a uniform or not a uniform? Or is it about their learning? And I realise that students are students, and it doesn't matter whether they are in South Africa or in New Zealand, or whether they wear a uniform or whether they don't. The core of a student remains the same. And once I had that realisation, I actually started to see the benefits of not having a uniform, and I could kind of start understanding that students need to express their individuality, and they need to kind of have the freedom to develop who they are as people, and that was all really positive. I realised that it adds a significant dimension to the culture of who we are at Springs, that we are a community and we are quite connected, but we connected because we're all individuals, and that's what we have in common, and that's the neat thing about being at Springs.
First rule, never let them change you. Rule 2, do you to the fullest. And never be ashamed to. You just good at what they can't do. And they hate that. They wanna paint you in they color, put you in another. But what they don't accept and what they don't see, the best thing is what you already be.